idea first came to me sitting on my screened-in porch during a rainstorm. And the next morning while I was walking through a cemetery, I decided that I would try it. Could I paint 100 paintings in 100 days? So far, it's an experience that has stretched me artistically, and it's made me a much better painter. Now, the real question is, will I be able to finish it? What's a really difficult challenge for an artist? For me, I want to paint 100 paintings in 100 days. Julie went to the farmer's market and brought back these 2 beautiful tomatoes, and I'm going to paint one of them. I paint every day, but it's hard to finish a painting in one session. As always, I hope I'll learn a lot, and that it will improve my skills as a painter. I'm going to use a lot of different types of painting materials and media. Some will be in the studio, and some will be in other interesting places. The paints for today are acrylic, and the colors I used are burnt umber, ultramarine blue, cadmium red, medium, sap green, and white. And oh yeah, I forgot cadmium orange. I typically work each day in 2 different studios. This one is in my basement, and it's fully air-conditioned and heated. My outside studio is in a standalone building. It has air conditioning and heat, but when the temperature gets to extremes, it's sometimes a little less comfortable out there. I'm a relentless squinter when I paint. That allows me to see the values and the color combinations that I need to see. My palettes are paper plates that I reuse and reuse. Van Gogh is playing on the TV, and that's a bit of an inspirational thing. After blocking everything in, I go in for some of the more detailed color work. I try not to paint with expectations. Painting should always be a discovering process. Thank you for following along my journey. You can check out my other works at RainerShineStudios.com. Also, very much appreciate the likes, the follows, and the subscribes. Have a creative day, and we'll see you tomorrow with painting number 2. And just like that, these 3 blueberries will be part of a painting. It's day 2 of 100 paintings in 100 days. And here I am hard at work in my art studio trying to finish painting number 2. The good news is we sold a print this morning. This is a watercolor I created at the Gardner Museum in Boston, and one of my lovely followers on Instagram decided to buy it. Thank you so much. So the painting for today is a basket of blueberries that was purchased at the farmer's market by my wife Julie. I start the painting by drawing in with the paintbrush the basic shapes. When my students and followers ask me what's the best way to improve at painting, my first answer is typically going to be learn to draw. Improve your drawing skills. If I see a drawing that's not working within a painting, then the painting doesn't work. I don't know about you, but I always have quotes spinning around in my mind. And today's quote was one that I saw that says, "A self that goes on changing is a self that goes on living." As an artist, I want to have that courageous willingness to outgrow my views, to allow my mind to expand. To me, painting is a continual act of revision. I rarely have a concept of what the finished piece will look like, and I'm open to see where it goes. Another mantra that I've taken up is the idea of being content with frustration. It seems that the higher the frustration when I'm making a painting, the higher the satisfaction is when I finally get it complete. Paintings always have a built-in ugly stage, as I like to call it, the stage where you want to give up and throw it out the window. Yet you must paint on. I feel like I nailed the colors of the blueberries. I got those right on. It was a mixture of cadmium red medium, ultramarine blue, and phthalo cyan. It was very fun to go in and highlight the individual blueberries and give them their character and personalities. I hope you like it, and I hope you'll go to my website and check out my other works. Parentheses, I'm also posting these 100 paintings each day as I make them, parentheses, at RainerShineStudios.com. And hopefully you'll give me a like and a follow and a subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow at the easel for painting number 3. Day 3 of 100 paintings in 100 days began the way every good day should, with a walk in the woods. The air was already warm with that unmistakable feeling that summer is settling in. Back in the studio, I shifted gears and worked on a new post about Andrew Wyeth's masterpiece, Christina's World. Spending time studying great art always seems to influence my own creative process. Then it was time to sit down, get serious, and start painting. Today's painting was one that I started out in Zion National Park. I was there last month for a plein air competition, and on June 25th I'll release a series of paintings called Cathedrals of Light. For me, Zion is a place that feels sacred. The towering cliffs, the dramatic light, and the sense of scale are unlike anywhere else I've ever visited. My goal was to capture a little of that feeling on canvas. I have an old iMac that I keep in my studio that I use solely for photographic reference. This was a unique spot in the park. I had set up residence on the backside of a visitor center and painted the view. Today I was trying some new mediums, Venetian turpentine and Galkid. I haven't used those in a while, and it's always fun to experiment with new and different things when I'm working in my studio. In the end, I think the painting turned out pretty well. All of these will be available on my website on June 25th, and I hope people will respond positively to them. So officially, this is day 3's painting. It was while I was painting this that some good news came my way. The little dings on my phone let me know that 2 paintings have sold, or rather a print and a painting. Yesterday's number 2 painting of 100 Days of 100 Paintings, Blueberries, sold, and I'm sending it far away to its new home, and with my thank you note, I drew 2 extra blueberries. I also sold one of my prints of the painting I made of City Hall on a rainy day in Walt Disney World. I'm so glad to be going down this path of an artist, and I thank everyone for their support. You can see my work on my website at RainershineStudios.com. I'd also love it if you liked, subscribed, follow, or whatever the button is. We'll see you tomorrow. Today is brought to you by Be Generous. It's day 5 of 100 paintings in 100 days. And this was a good bench to reflect on a bit this morning. I spent time this morning with this painting. I hope you'll watch the post to learn about her interesting story. And another trip to the grocery store to buy some cherries. And cherries will be the topic of today's painting. And as I was blocking it in, I was thinking about what it means to be generous. Be generous with your time and resources. Give credit when credit is due. Always remember there's always a human being on the other end of every exchange. I found this little plein air study that I liked, and I spent time looking at it as the cherries made their way further and further along. I also have my eye on some red onions that I might need to make another painting on another day. I also spent time thinking about what it means to understand something, and also what it means to be understood. Part of the mission of my pages on social media is to teach about painting, to teach about art, and maybe to teach about life. Being able to pursue art as a full-time endeavor is a gift. Late last night, I sold this piece called Bird on a Wire. It's a great feeling to know that a work that you created will end up in someone's home or living space. The key color to creating these cherries is a color called alizarin crimson. It's a deep pinkish purple, very rich color, but it's quite transparent. So you end up using a lot of layers, and there's a lot of layers on this painting, and it got really wet. So wet that I couldn't paint the stems on. So to get this painting to the quote finished state, I just took the stick end of my brush. It gives the idea of stem, but I'll have to go back in later and paint a little more of a representation of it. I also want to thank you, the viewer, and my patrons for being generous to me. It's deeply appreciated. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you'd like. And if you'd like to see more of my works and some of the other days of the 100 Paintings journey, go to my website at RainershineStudios.com. 1 peach and 2 cherries. Day 6. Thank you for supporting my creative journey. Please like, follow, and subscribe. To see more of my work, my website is rainershinestudios.com. Realize how hard this is? Do you realize what you've gotten yourself into? This was my internal dialogue on day 7 of 100 paintings in 100 days. Today's installment is an oil painting. It's a lemon peach and 2 cherries. I know the rule that you shouldn't put an even number of things in a painting, but oh well. Guess I've broken that rule. It was also a day of working on some top secret commissions that I can't share full images of. Suffice to say, I'm doing some very large drawings, and I am thoroughly enjoying making them. Sometimes doing work on commission gets you out of your own head and out of your own thought processes and into some other space. The sunset was gorgeous on this absolutely sweltering day. I also did a live session on YouTube that was pretty successful. I had at least 31 people show up, which is good. I also posted this little peach painting from day 3, I think, into my shop, rainershinestudios.com, if you'd like to buy it. My painting of the day post was about David Hockney. His passing had a definite effect on me, as he was an artist that I've always been influenced by, and I've always looked up to him. He's rooted in the real world, yet he also experiments. I was able to meet him briefly once in Italy. He's also a contemporary artist who works hard. He's prolific. His work isn't made by teams and other people. Call me old-fashioned, but I do appreciate that. Thank you for supporting my artistic endeavors. You can check out my work at Rainer Shine Studio.